Hi, hello, how do you do? I'll wait for you. I'm a little bit late. Ooh, shame on me. Shame on me. Fun fact, being on time is a actually it's a negotiable value for me. It's a negotiable value. I'm live. Come hang. Maybe my title sucks. Do you think it's my title? Should I change my title on this video? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm gonna, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? Whoa, gotta edit. Hi friends. I'm just gonna, should I change the title? I'm undecided if I should change the title. Should I change the title? 100K subs, 100K celebration. Hi everyone. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I haven't done this in such a long time. This is how I'm, come learn. Come learn the secret to transforming. What? Transforming your life. Da 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 da. Raven, what are you doing? Hi everyone. I'm just giving everyone a minute to jump in. To jump in, you know, come hang out with us. You know, everything. Don't worry about a thing. Very good, very good, very good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Because every little thing is gonna be all right. Hi, everyone. Oh, it's so nice to see everyone. Okay, can you please drop, yeah, spike the likes. Bam, 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 bam. I feel like I need one of those little machinies where we can, where I can be like, this sound effect. Bam, 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 you know? Anyways, listen, where are you from? Tell me where in the world you are from. Thank you, Lisa. I'm so fucking excited. Oh my God, I haven't done this in so long. Hope you like the vibe. Here you can see right here, evidence that I am still working on putting the eyeballs up. Also sad face, but the lashes on this one are coming undone. Look, she's got little curly lashes. She doesn't want to stay. New York, New York. Florida, I like Florida. Florida, the land of the free. Same with Texas. Wisconsin, Indiana, Massachusetts, New Mexico, Melbourne. Holy shit. What time is it in Melbourne? Like, what, are you sleeping? Maryland, Canada. What's up, Canada? Born with a Veil, Friday the 13th. Woo! Jacksonville. Actually, I've been to Jacksonville. Los Angeles, 11. Toronto. Hi, Marissa. Hello, local peeps. I am in Toronto, in case you didn't know. Give me a minute. I want to put some tags on this video. And your girl, sometimes sometimes multitasking is a little difficult for her. Okay, so just hang tight for a minute. Hang tight while she multitasks. While she multitasks. All right. There, I'm safe. Albuquerque. Oh, Ontario. Hello. Hi, Ontario. I'm in Ontario too. I am in Toronto. Martha. Oh my God, Martha. Hi. Oh, hi, Caroline. I love you too. Hello from Seattle. Hello. Thank you. You're so welcome. Okay. Hold on. So there's a few people in here now. I just wanted to give everyone some time to jump in. Let me go back to the video because then I can see the chat a little bit better. Whoops, what is this? I do not want to listen to this. India, Sasarigaji, Kihala. That's all I know. That and Punj. But that's about it. Cool Pontiac. Oakland, California. Love you. Hi, friends. Where are we here? Chicago. Chicago's on my bucket list, actually. Chicago is somewhere where I really want to go because I love the architecture. Fun fact, prior to me doing this, I was in school for interior design. Queensland. And then before that, I did radio broadcasting. Like Michigan, Sagittarius, woo woo, 1 p.m. Melbourne, oh nice. Nova Scotia, hello Nova Scotia, and all the delicious seafood. Birmingham, UK, ooh nice. UK is also on my bucket list. I'm just trying to go through, see what else I see here. Oh, I'm so, South Carolina, hello, hi. Brooklyn in the house. What is this? Some birds. Valerie, birds, love birds. Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, Arizona is on my bucket list too. Pennsylvania, woo! I love this. Love this so much. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Okay, so you're so pretty. I love your, oh my God, you're so nice. Thank you. You are beautiful too. Listen, so we're going to do something a little bit different today. As you can see, I didn't post anything about tarot. First and foremost, having said all this, I do need to legitimately thank every single one of you for this. When I tell you that when it arrived today in the box and the box said YouTube, I almost had a heart attack. And then I freaked out, and then I had a heart attack again, and then I freaked out, and then I cried a little, and then I sent it to my parents, and I was like, Ma, Dad, I made it. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So eternally, just so fucking grateful, thank you, honestly. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to find, there it is. Yeah, Alan, congrats, you dreamed this, manifested it. You know it, and it wouldn't be alive if this mug was not here today. For those of you that know, you know about the mug. One day we'll have ginormous mugs like this with fun sayings, but for now we're taking baby steps. Okay, listen, I want to talk to you all about what the fuck is going on in this world right now. Also, it's a full moon. Woo! Full moon in Leo. We're not going to do any rituals today because well, I feel like I need to do this as part of the ritual, all right? There's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now. I mean, you got to be living under a rock unless, you might be Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants. And even he, I think, knows what's going on. So what does this mean for all of you? What does this shake up, this Pluto return that we're days away from, what does it mean? Oh, that's so beautiful. Listen, I love the moon. You all know I do full moon and new moon rituals. However, lately I've been more drawn to the sun. And I think about the moon being the subconscious, the unconscious, the fears, the illumination of things that we need to deal with. I think about the moon as like the mother, the shadow self, the deepest depths. And then I think about the sun when I think about having to be in action. And I think about the fact that if we think about Venus, which is the planet that rules Taurus, and we think about the sun, they emanate similar energy. And if you didn't know that, we can dive into that a little bit. Actually, I'm going to pull up a fun little stat about Venus right now because I don't want to give you the wrong stat. Venus stats. Venus information. So Venus is the second planet from the sun, and it's Earth's closest planetary neighbor. Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. Okay? Hi friends, if you're new, hello, hi, welcome. If you think about Venus being the hottest planet in our neighborhood, in our solar system, then you think about the sun and what the sun does for us. We can see the similarities: heat, passion, fire. Venus looks like this. It's like orangey, right? It's we don't really see it at the same color, but it's like this orangey color with a lot of greenhouse gases. So when we think about the fact that both of these planets are very fired up, right? Very hot. And then we understand that we are in the North Node Taurus, all right? If you all know what North Node Taurus is, you can, drop a little emoji in the comments. we can see now why it's important for us to focus on the energy of the sun, maybe just a little bit more than the energy of the moon. It's not to deny the energy of the moon. Don't get me wrong. We have to give gratitude to both. But why the focus could be on the sun right now. If you know any Tauruses, or if you're a Taurus, drop it in the comments, okay? North Node, Scorpio, Taurus, Sun. Yeah, that's amazing, Pontiac. What was I saying? North Node, right. If you know any Tauruses, you drop it in the box, okay? Taurus is strong. Taurus is resilient. Taurus is determined. Taurus is methodical. Taurus is particular. Taurus is sensual. Taurus takes its time. But Taurus is always moving forward. Maybe not at the pace that somebody like an Aries would like, but Taurus is always moving forward on their own schedule at their own time. There is a sense of urgency, and I'm sure some of you may have been feeling it right now. If you've been feeling that sense of urgency, or that sense that something's been, shaken up in the world, or there's something going on, drop it in the comments, okay? This sense of urgency is something that we as humans, all of us as the collective, could start embracing. Now, when I say urgency, I don't talk about panic. No fucking panic, okay? Panic is like chasing your own tail, chicken without its head on. Not that vibe. Taurus is the furthest thing from a chicken with its head cut off, okay? Furthest thing. The urgency comes in this need for heat, for movement, right? That's why I was talking about Venus, because Venus is ruled by Taurus. Oh my God, Venus rules Taurus. We're in the Taurus North Node, and why I'm talking about the sun, and why we're not really doing like a Leo full moon ritual right now. And I think that you could totally do it on your own. Maybe we'll wrap up with a little Leo full moon ritual at the end, all right, depending on the time. Having said that, I think it's a really amazing day today to understand that we need to leave some things behind. And even if you think about the fact that Leo, who here is a Leo? Who here knows a Leo? Right? Have you ever seen a Leo sit down and do nothing? I have not. Okay. So think about like the association and the connection to the Leo full moon, right? This is about movement forward. Okay? Movement forward in a very methodical, logical, rational, strategic, I would say calculated way. Hola, yo soy de Chile también. Hello, hi. Oh my God, there's somebody from Chile here. Oh my God. Okay, also side note, I know we're talking about like Taurus and the North Nodes and what's coming up on the earth, but I do need to mention that for all of you that have shopped over at STARSEA Jewels, thank you so much. I think the fucking coolest thing ever in this whole planet is watching these orders come in from places like Ireland, Australia, Scotland, Taiwan, like Puerto Rico, Alaska, like it's I think I had Finland the other day and I was like, what the heck? This is insane. It's so beautiful. It's so I'm so grateful, honestly. It's like one of the coolest things to be able to see all of you from across the world, right? So back to this whole Taurus North Node. If I can say to you one thing, if you practice stagnation, complacency, or comfort, and you don't embrace change this year, you are, and I'm going to be really, really blunt, you are setting yourself up for failure. And I'm not saying that to create fear, and I'm not saying that to make you panic. I am saying that because more and more as I've been moving forward on this channel and moving forward on my own journey and moving forward in my soul purpose, the universe keeps telling me the same thing over and over again. And the same thing that the universe keeps saying is, build it and they will come. You must share the story, you must share the information. All right? And there's times where my own limitations or mental blocks go, well, who am I to share this stuff with them? But then when I start thinking that to myself, source and my higher self are like, you need to tell the people. Whether the people choose to listen to you or not is up to them, but you have a responsibility and a duty and a soul purpose to share your story and to share the information and the messages that we are delivering. And so here I am. This urgency is an urgency for all of you to start reevaluating your environments. What's serving you? What's not? What can you let go of? What are you still holding on that's not for your highest good? And where can you embrace radical transformation of your own life? Fully knowing that in that radical transformation, you will be leaving things behind. Some of us hold on. We don't want to make space for something new. We don't want to leave things behind because we're attached to them. We have stories, complacency, comforts, etc. However, we are in this time right now, this crossroads, we could call it, right? That's a crossroads, yeah. Where, just like the Robert Frost poem, two roads diverged, right? Which path are you going to take? Because you can see the great divides happening. You see the people that are stuck in 3D consciousness. You see the people that are in that 4D consciousness. And then you're seeing those people in that 5D consciousness. Oftentimes the people that are emitting the frequency and the energy of 5D consciousness really trigger the 3D consciousness. Really trigger the 3D consciousness. The 4D consciousness is kind of like teeter-totters, right? Sometimes they're in 3D, sometimes they're in 5D, and they're like, those could very well still be attaching to some of the narratives that they need to let go of and why they haven't fully aligned with the 5D consciousness. "5D consciousness is what our planet needs right now in order to be saved. Not just us as a humanity, but our planet, Mother Earth. Another connection to Taurus, North Node. Taurus is an earth sign. Yeah, great question. I don't know where Raven is. We'll find out soon. All right, I'll find out soon where. Right, but turning around and saying nobody with a mask is going to 10D is unfair. Because we have to respect and understand that people have their own fears. You know, speaking of masks, I'll share a story with you. So today I was at the gym and I wear a plastic mask. It's those see-through ones that go over your face. And this gentleman was wearing a cloth mask and he said to me, he said, "Does that mask work? You know, because I see it's not covering your nose." And I'm like, it does enough for the job considering I'm at the gym and I'm keeping my distance from people. And then he kind of sat there and, yeah, I'll post the live after. And he kind of sat there and he was like, okay. And I noticed he didn't move, right? He was at the section where we changed our winter shoes to our summer shoes, or our indoor shoes to our winter shoes. And he was just sitting there like in contemplation. And then he took his mask and he put it down. And he continued to look at me. And I felt compelled to talk to him. And I said, can I share some information with you? And he said, yeah, for sure. And I said, I would really encourage you to look up Dr. XYZ. No, he was an older gentleman. Honestly, he reminded me of my dad. Someone who is confused, someone who has watched the news, the media, the propaganda, and now is sitting questioning, what am I listening to? Does that align with the truth? And am I right in doing what I'm doing? Right? It's that 4D consciousness. That's what 4D consciousness is, right? If we were to compare 4D consciousness to something, we could say 4D consciousness is like that spiritual awakening. It's the dark night of the soul. It's that shift from 3D to 5D. So I went over and I talked to him. And I gave him a couple of local Canadian doctors who are really speaking up about the statistics, about the about studies, etc., in regards to this current world situation. You know, I'm not here to talk about this thing. I really don't care what you do. Every single person has their own right to do what they need to do with their body. But I'm here to talk about the fear tactics, the dark energy, the misinformation that keeps us in this shadow frequency of 3D versus evolving to 5D. And so I chat there with him for maybe 15 minutes. I gave him the doctor's infos. There's a few doctors here in Canada, and there's something actually, I'll actually link it here. It's called Urgency of Normal. Urgency of Normals originated with about 13 or 14 doctors, MDs, epidemiologists, immunologists. I can never say that word. And that's the link right there, Urgency of Normal. And it started with these 13, 14 doctors, some of them were Canadian too, talking about the importance of creating normalcy for children after these past 2 years. And they have lots of vetted studies, lots of vetted medical journals on how regular cloth masks don't protect. They really do. It's a minute difference. It's more now like a virtue signaling. And that people who are not autoimmune compromised, there's a big difference between people who are autoimmune compromised and people who aren't. People who are, or children who are autoimmune compromised, need to be wearing N95s. And so I sat down with him and this gentleman, and he's like, well, I'm autoimmune compromised. I've got this thing. And I'm like, right. I'm like, your doctor and the government should be giving you N95s. And he's like, well, why has no one told me this? And he's like, and I said to him, I don't know. I'm like, and I said to him, this is where I struggle, right? And he's like, well, you seem very educated. And I explained to him, I'm like, I'm a critical thinker. I'm a single mom. I have a kid. I have a responsibility to protect my child, be present for my child, be there for my child. And I'm like, and, you know, I'm not denying being safe during this thing. Absolutely, we have to be safe. We have to be safe. We have to be smart. We have to be cognizant. We have to do all the things. But we also, there's these extreme dualities, right? If you're in Canada, you're seeing it with, you know, I'm not even going to mention it because apparently I can go to fucking jail if I mention it. So you know what I'm talking about, okay? The duality, right? You're pro, you're anti, you're this, you're that. But where is the middle? Where is the middle? Where we can still be respectful and kind of our neighbor, where we can still think about those that are autoimmune compromised or that have fears or have worries about getting sick. And where can we also practice critical thinking rather than feeding mass hysteria? And that's what this whole energy is calling us to do right now. To be there for our neighbors, to be there for each other in a way of empathy, compassion, kindness, love, nurturing, grounded, rooted energy. We have to think about Mother Earth. Does Mother Earth punish the birds that sing differently? Does Mother Earth punish the weeds that grow up on the trees? Does Mother Earth punish Us? Yeah, she does. She punishes us when we need correcting. And how does she do that? She punishes us when we need correcting by tsunamis, earthquakes, volcano eruptions, hurricanes, etc. But at the end of the day, she always restores balance. However, what Mother Earth doesn't do is she doesn't interfere in an intrusive way. She allows for nature to do its thing. Us humans intervene. And when we intervene in extremes, well, that's when she brings back balance. I think ethically, it would be unfair for me to tell you that we're going to be seeing balance in the next couple of years. We are teeter-tottering right now. The shadow aspects and the light aspects of the age of Aquarius. On these extremes, these polar dualities. And while I share all this with you, you also have to remember that there are things that you can control and there are things that you can't control. And so knowing the things that you can control, how are you going to choose to move forward? Are you going to panic? Are you going to worry about all the things that you can't control, like the 5G towers? Like, you know, some of the things that some governments in some worlds are doing? Other people's fear, other people's panic, other people's anger, rage. And also, how are you going to choose to show up? If and when you're met with hatred, anger, rage. When that man said that to me about the mask, I could have very well been snarky, been nasty, been rude. Told him to fuck off, told him to mind his own business. I could have done all sorts of things. But in that moment, I chose to lead with compassion and kindness because I literally saw his wheels processing. Hello, new friends. And as he was writing down all the doctors' names, the urgency of normal and all this, he's like, thank you so much. My wife and I have been so stressed. We stay at home all the time. We're so full of fear. Fear is a 3D consciousness vibration. Fear keeps us stuck and limits us from evolving and from transforming. Thank you, Sammy. So, how do you transform your life then? How do you choose to transform? How do you choose, or what steps do you need to make? The first thing is understanding that everything begins and ends with you. And when I applied that into my own life, I realized that as much as I love doing tarot videos, and I'm going to keep doing them, okay, don't get me wrong, what I love more is being able to provide this kind of content to you all. What feels very much in alignment is being able to provide this kind of content to you all. You've already seen a couple of videos. Maybe you've watched my preparing for 2022. Maybe you've watched my, maybe you've watched like the 3D to 5D consciousness. You know, maybe you've watched the message to all light workers. There's more content like that that's going to start coming more and more. It's not to say that I'm not going to do tarot readings anymore. I still am. But I really need to make sure that I am including and offering you all knowledge, all right, on what is coming down the pipeline. And how I can inspire you and empower you to transform your own life. Seven years ago, I gave birth to my son. And at that same time, I was in an incredibly unhappy relationship. And I started to realize that it was time to leave that relationship, and I didn't. 2 years passed by, and I faced fear straight on in the face, because I realized that everything begins and ends with me. So I was going to choose to stay in this unhappy relationship and complain and be bitter and be angry and be frustrated and be all those things, or I was going to leave, because everything begins and ends with me. That took me on a journey that I never ever thought would happen, where I learned many more lessons. And in that journey, and even earlier than that journey, but this was the journey where I finally understood it, the universe delivered to me what I call the light laws. For me to sit here and tell you that the light laws were a download, I don't know that they were a download. I think that what they were little whispers, little nudges. You probably get them too. Little tinglings in your gut, in your mind, thoughts that rummage through your mind, and you're like, what would happen if I listened to that? And the more that I listened to that, the more I started realizing that it was Source and my higher self giving me these laws of life. And that these laws emitted light. They were connected to the frequency of light, a 5D consciousness, of a higher vibration, of a connection to Source. Yeah, spirit nudges, I love that. And the more that I went on in my journey, right, the last 4 years, actually 5 years now. Whoa, I just had like a moment. Anyways, the more that I went on in my life in the last 5 years, the more that the light laws became louder, and the more that I started to hear them and feel them and see them and recognize that these light laws were actually gifts from the universe. Sending prayers, Tracy. I hope that baby is found soon. And what I've done now, what I'm doing is I'm running a course. It starts on March 3rd. And this course is specifically designed for those that are ready to radically transform their life. And in the course, I am going to be teaching the light laws and how these light laws will change your life, how they changed mine. And more importantly, I'm going to walk you through the journey of stepping into your true soul purpose and alignment with your highest self, with your life purpose. I'm going to show you how to take back your power, how to remember who you are. It's not about finding yourself, it's about remembering who you are. And that's what I teach in this course. We peel back the layers, we go deep. And if that's something that interests you, let me know. I can drop the link. That course starts on March 3rd. And every week you get live 1 hour classroom settings with me, one-on-ones every week live with me. You get pre-recorded videos, and you get worksheets, and there's all community and so much more. It's designed specifically for those of you that are ready to step into your power. And no, I still work very much with the Morrigan, and this is why I am going in this direction. Because when I first started working with the Morrigan, one of the first things she mentioned was build it and they will come. And this is what I am supposed to be doing now. I know wholeheartedly, I feel it with every fiber of my being. My purpose here on earth is to empower you. My purpose here on earth is to help guide you, show you the way, not tell you what to do, because you got to do that work on your own. Show you tools, support you along the way, give you perspective to help you open this and connect. I think we're even sleeping on my bed, honestly. And so if that's something that really, really calls to you, I'm going to drop the link now. And there's a deposit and then a payment plan for the course. Oops, that's not it. My grandma used to tell me sometimes you have to live and go through the dark. Oh, shoot. Hold on. That message disappeared. Give me a second. But I did want to give you all an opportunity. Register for a line. There it is. What did my grandma used to tell me sometimes you have to live and go through the dark to recognize and live in the light. Yeah, absolutely. 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 That's exactly what it is. And many people now are walking through the darkness, and I mean, been there in the darkness for quite some time. And now that I'm on this side, my purpose is to extend my hand and help pull you, support you, guide you, show you. So yeah, having said that, sometimes I hear my dad yelling in his sleep. Yeah, he's having nightmares. He could be astral traveling. There's so many things. Having said that, I want to give you all the first tool in helping you transform your life. So if it's something that you feel you are ready to do, you would start applying this tool. And this first tool in the light law, and I've already mentioned it to you, is that everything begins and ends with you. So if we know that everything begins with you, we have to begin with you. And you need to begin with yourself. You need to start asking yourself who you are, what your values are, what you love, what you don't love, what's a negotiation, what's a non-negotiation value for you, negotiable value for you, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. These are all questions. In understanding how everything begins and ends with you. Because if you don't know yourself, if you are not in alignment with yourself, if you can't confidently say you know who you are, and I'm going to bet that about 70 or 80% of you don't know who you are. And that might be triggering, but it's simply a fact. And the reason why it's a fact is because so many of us live attached to external narratives. We live with masks on, wanting to please our dad or our mom or that person who said that mean thing when we were younger. And it's why so many people are stuck in that 3D consciousness. It's also why so many people are full of hatred, misery, resentment. It's why so many people are stuck in judgment. It's why so many people are ready to blame others instead of recognizing where they're at. It's why people choose segregation, division, ostracization. It's also why people can't, for whatever reason, embrace a different way of thinking, right? It's almost like, this is the way, and I know the way, and there's no other way. The best rule to have in our life is to question everything over and over and over again. Not to drive us insane, but to help us see things from different perspectives. Everything can be love. And, you know, maybe this is the visionary and the dreamer Charlene coming out, but I truly believe we will get to that stage in our life and here on earth where we will be love. When you figure out who you are and yet you're surrounded by others who don't know who they are, it gets very lonely. Right, Sammy? That's actually a very factual statement. Having said that, in there's a learning in itself. Why would somebody who's figured out who they are be surrounded by people who don't know who they are? People who know who they are surround themselves with like-minded people. They understand to let go, to release with love and kindness and respect individuals who are not in alignment with them. And it's not to say that you have to dump your friends or your family members or, you know, that kind of stuff, but it's to create boundaries. It's to create boundaries with people who are no longer vibrating at the same frequency. That's right. The only constant in this world is change. It's the only constant. And it is when we choose to stay in stagnation and in limitation and in complacency, right? You know, we always have choice. We have choice with who we surround ourselves with. We have choice with who we share our energy with. We have choice with who we allow to impact us emotionally, mentally, etc. Your job here on earth is not to change people. No one's job is. None of our jobs are to change people. Our purpose here on earth can be many things, but one of them is not to change individuals, because that would mean that we are then controlling them. As a spiritual teacher, it's not my job to change you. It's my job to offer you perspective, wisdom, advice, knowledge, so that you can, on your own, start widening your consciousness and the way that you view things. But working with me, whether you take the Tarot Intensive or whether you take the Align course, I'm never going to change you. You're going to change yourself. What you're going to do through those courses is work with me and start seeing different things from different perspectives. Start more tools. Start getting more structured. All the Taurus North Node energy, methodical, logical, practical. Hello from Vancouver, or hello Vancouver. So Yana Ospina said, it's sad sometimes to have to create that boundary, especially with family, but man, it has changed my life and mental health skyrocketed. Yeah. Right? We love our family. Love my mom, love my dad. But I also love myself above all else. And I know that I need to have peace of mind myself, and I need to be in a good frequency myself so that I can be a good mother for my son, so that I can show up for you all and be really good at my job and my career, my soul purpose, so I can support you all. And that means having boundaries with my parents. Of course, Sienna. Do you worry when the Morrigan spoke to you? As in, did you worry if she was from evil intent? Did you have a feeling that she was speaking to you for a reason that you shouldn't be scared? When the Morrigan first showed up for me, I was scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie. I was petrified. First I was afraid, I was petrified. It was fucking scary. But it was scary because it was something I didn't know. It was something that I wasn't comfortable with. It was a change that I wasn't willing or ready to accept or embrace. And then the Morrigan persisted. And so I started paying attention more and more. And it was when I started paying attention more and more that I saw that there was nothing to be afraid of, that my fears were a part of my own hesitation, my own lack of, what's the word I'm looking for here? My own like lack of accountability or determination. How to deal with the need to want others to vibrate at the same frequency as us. It feels sad when I see people with toxic patterns. Right, so that's a little bit of the ego showing up there, Akshika. So Akshika said, how to deal with the need to want others to vibrate at the same frequency as us. I feel sad when I see people with toxic patterns. So why do you want somebody else to vibrate at the same frequency as you? That's question number one. Why are you unwilling to respect, understand, and have compassion and kindness for someone in the journey that they're at? Why do you feel determined to change them? Why do you feel that it's you that has to change them? I think that would be the first question to think about. And how do you deal with it? I think it's in understanding and having a space and compassion and patience that every single person has had their own journey. And we are a product of our environments. And then it feels sad when I see people with toxic patterns. That's okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel like, compassion and empathy towards them. Absolutely. But if we're feeling sad, like, oh, they're pretty pathetic, or oh, what a fucking loser, that's the ego. That's the ego taking charge. That's the ego taking the driver's seat. I created boundaries a long time ago after going through I'm trying to say this in Spanish. How do you pronounce it? Martel McAvoy. I created boundaries a long time ago after going through turmoil with people who were not on my frequency and that I didn't vibe with, including family, and now I'm called uppity. Yeah, and again, people are going to call you whatever they want to call you, but that's their faulty perceptions. It's got nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing with you. Got to remember that when people behave a certain way, especially when it's like condescending, judgmental, angry, rage, any of those lower vibrational emotions, especially towards others, it's one thing when they're doing it to themselves, but when they are projecting and hurting and reacting towards others, that just shows internally the turmoil that they're in. I said this in a video and somebody quoted me in the comments and I was like, wow, Charlene, you're so fucking smart. Because I was like, that's a really great question, or a really great statement. And the statement that I made, and I'm going to turn it into a quote for you all, is when you truly love yourself, you could never hurt another. If you are at peace with yourself, if you love yourself, you will not waste a blip, a millisecond of your energy, of your emotions, of your frequency, of who you are, emitting hate or hurt to anybody else. Bastet in the house. I wear Bastet all the time too. Thank you for your support. Just to assure everyone, forget about what people think. Make sure you copyright or before you do it. Yeah, Scarler, love that. Somebody asked a question. May I ask who is the Morrigan? Yeah, Ying Panda. So the Morrigan is a Celtic deity of death, transformation, war, and prophecy. And the Morrigan is, I don't know if there's a way, actually, maybe I can show you the screen. Hold on, let me flip this around. to see if I can find a picture of how the Morrigan has shown up to me. So this is actually a great photo. I don't know if you can see. I wonder if I can zoom it. Can I zoom it? Can I zoom more? Oh, how do I do this? I love how I've had this MacBook forever and I still don't know how to zoom. Can you see that? That's how the Morrigan shows up for me. That's right, Marta. What Marta said. Where is... Okay, let me read what else. What are these boundaries? Are they physical or mental? Boundaries? Okay, you gotta think like this. Think about you as a being. And then think about a bubble that never pops. It's see-through. It's, you know, you can push out, you can push in, you know, you could, that material, you know, where you can like pull through and then it pops back. Thank you, Mr. Black. But never pops. And it surrounds you. That's kind of like how a boundary works. So when you set boundaries with people, you are only allowing them to connect with you at a certain space. So for example, with somebody who is highly toxic or abusive, chances are you would have boundaries that are further away from you, right? So they couldn't necessarily connect with you emotionally on a deep level. You probably wouldn't tell them everything about yourself. You wouldn't allow them in your safe space. They would stay very much further away from you. But for example, somebody like my child, for example, my child comes in to the bubble with me. But somebody that has hurt me, I will keep them at a distance, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to be rude, but, you know, I preserve my energy around them. I don't give them a bunch of time. I don't involve myself in their drama or their pettiness or their arguments. Keep them over here. All right, hopefully that made sense. How do you suggest creating better boundaries when you're an empath in addition to crystals? Yeah, so motivate your mind. That's because you're not grounded, honey. That's a big conversation that we have. I've actually been having this conversation a lot. Grounding is the most important thing that we can do. And a couple of things. People who believe they are highly empathic could very well be, or it's not that they're empathic, it's that they have trauma and now are absorbing other people's energy as a result of not having good boundaries from their trauma. Now, when it comes to being sensitive to people's energies, we have to practice grounding. That's why it takes like so much for a tree to be uprooted, because trees are so deeply embedded and grounded. And when we understand that we need to ground, it's actually a superpower. If you all have been watching me for a while, you'll know that like a few years ago, some readings I would just cry so much because I would get so emotional and affected. And I was grounding, but I didn't have good boundaries. So I was grounding, but I wasn't creating boundaries. So when we ground, we root ourselves and we stay grounded so that we can create these healthy boundaries. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I personally think that the reason why so many people are sick is because of new technology, and we don't have the right systems in place to protect us. That's a perfect way of explaining, Marta. It's like, if you could think about the top being a plug and your feet being a plug, when you are grounded, you're plugged in up here, but you're also plugged in at the bottom. So you're like a circuit connected. Crystals are a tool, just like pendulums are, just like tarot. Ha! Eight of Swords. They're a tool. They're not meant to save us. No one can save you. You have to save yourself. And the way that you save yourself is through doing the work. Through facing yourself, through recognizing where your ego is kicking in, recognizing where you're doing things for others versus doing them for yourself. Right? We see that a lot right now in society, the virtue signaling. Thanks, Ricardo Di Luca. When we start thinking about this shift, this energy, it's about getting really, really clear and intentional with who we are. When we're solid with ourselves, when we understand and know ourselves so specifically, so grounded, so what's the word I'm looking for? Not targeted. There's a word. Anyways, it slipped my mind. When we know ourselves to that degree, it's impossible for others to impact us, affect us, judge us, etc. It's just impossible. Right, so Chicken Mama, with what you're writing, so you got to get grounded and find out where the precise is the word, thank you, and and find out where the trauma comes in that you don't trust. See, like, even when, you all, I'm ready for love, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for that, I'm ready for all these things, but then we're not willing to do the work. I'm ready for all this abundance, but I'm not ready to do the work. I'm ready for love, but I'm not willing to find out where I still have wounds that could negatively impact my relationships. I'm ready to have a kid, but I haven't dealt with my own inner child. I'm ready to start a new job, but I haven't stopped to think about where I have insecurities and felt doubt. Right? That's that shadow self that we have to face and work on and deal with. In the Align course, I teach about the fact that there is the higher self, there's us, there's shadow self, and the ego. And when we're born, the shadow self and the ego are these blips. And as babies, we're just connected to source. It's why babies are so pure. Their energy is so pure. They're so beautiful. They're so kind. They're just these beautiful, beautiful beings. They're like earth angels. What happens is, when we're babies, we're at the mercy of our mom, our dad, our grandparents. Then as we grow, the school, our mom, dad, grandparents. And as we grow, school, society, neighbors, extracurricular activities, so on and so forth, right? Like, it just goes on and on and on. oftentimes, unless we come from very healed and very aware and very conscious parents, which, I mean, put your hand up if you had any of those parents. Chances are maybe 2 of you did in this whole chat. Because a lot of us have unhealed parents. A lot of us have parents who carry a lot of trauma. And so, while we're susceptible and at the mercy of our parents as littles, that trauma, generational, whatever it is, gets added on to us. So the ego and the shadow self, or the shadow self and the ego, whatever, however you want to look at it, these 2 energies of the shadow self and the ego get fed. And the higher self, the source, the one connected to source, gets teeny tiny. It's why so many people live their lives lost. It's why so many people live their lives feeling like they're not good enough. It's why so many people settle in relationships and careers. Why so many people feel like they're destined for something more, but they don't know what that is. It's because their highest self, their connection to source, is wanting to come out and show at its fullest expression. But fuck, that ego and that shadow self, they've gotten big over time. And both of them together are like frickin' frack. And they're like, oh, hell no, higher self, you're not coming. They turn to these masks. And higher self's trying to push through, push through, push through. It's probably why so many of you have felt that urgency. Also why so many of you probably feel like you're destined for something bigger, but you don't know what it is. If you felt like you're destined for something bigger, but you don't know what it is, drop an emoji in the comments. Let's see how many of you there are that feel like they're meant for something greater, designed for, bye Joseph, see you later, meant for something better, greater, bigger, whatever, but you just don't know what it is. Drop an emoji. Thank you, Amber. I'm asking you to drop emojis because I want all of you to see how many of you feel like you're destined for something greater, something bigger. So now I'm going to ask you all, why aren't you doing that which you know you are destined for? When I ask you that question, what's a word that comes into your mind? When I say to you, why aren't you following your destiny? Fear, structure. Fear, sacrifice, disappointment, impatient. Joe, what am I destined for? Self-limiting beliefs imposed by my support system. Figuring it out, following intuition, structure, family. Excuses, fear. Not fear, just lazy. You guys seeing a thread here? I'm afraid it's not my purpose. Fear, sabotage. Fear, 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 sabotage, lost. Lazy. That means you're unmotivated. Doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you're unmotivated. Fear of success and happiness. Those are foreign concepts to me. I feel like I've done everything, know nothing with my life. Thank you. I love her too. I actually got new crystals today. Look at this beautiful one. Oh my God. And oh, are you seeing it shine? Look. Oh. Can you see that? Lack of money and fear. Woohoo. Wow. Are you seeing the rainbow? Look, do you see the rainbow up here? From my supplier. I've actually been thinking of starting to sell crystals. Not decided yet. And check this one out. Look at this clear quartz. Wait until I show you the other one. I'm sharing these with you because they hold energy and power, and I want you to connect with this energy and this power. Look at that. Ready for the other one? Look at this one. Look at that. Are you seeing that? Oh, look at that. Watch. I don't know if it'll do it because I'm holding it, but if you put, oh yeah, because I'm holding it. Oh, there it is a little bit. I was playing around with it. Oh, look at it. Look. They like work together and they sing. I have them right here on my desk. So let's go back to the fears. A corona is also for Mother Earth. You know, I really don't like giving this thing a lot of energy. I'm going to be really transparent with you all. I had COVID over a month ago now? Oh, I think I had COVID anyways because I never tested. My little guy had it and he was at his dad's house and he told me. And so I assumed when I felt a little bit ill that I had it too. My son was fine. He had a fever for 24 hours and that was it. No cough, no nothing. And I also had a like low grade fever. Honestly, I had more of a headache. And I didn't think that it was the virus because what this felt like to me was mal ojo. And if you're Latina or Latino or Italian, you know what mal ojo is. You know what mal ojo is. And that's exactly what this felt like to me. And so I started doing all the things that I do to cleanse. To cleanse mal ojo. And I was talking to a couple of girlfriends and I decided to go into what I call like lucid dreaming or astral dreaming to try and figure out what this thing was. And I went into this dream thinking that I was gonna be able to see who gave me the evil eye, right? Evil eye is mal ojo, mal ojo, okay? It's why I wear my mal ojo bracelet. And why I have so many evil eyes everywhere. And the all-seeing eye everywhere. Here, I'm going to drop the link. Hold on. I'll drop the link for those of you that want to pick up the mal ojo bracelet. Hold on. Or read more about it or whatever. Where are we? There's the link for it. So I went into this dream, this state of being, to find out who had given me the evil eye. And when I got there, look, I don't get scared a lot. Okay, Marilyn, I love Port Dover. I used to ride my motorcycle there. I actually have a picture of me there from Friday the 13th many years ago. Oh, that's so cool. So anyways, let me go back to the story. So I don't get afraid. Things don't scare me. The astral realms, they don't really scare me, honestly. I feel very powerful when I'm there. I don't feel like they can get to me, if that makes sense to you. You know, because in the astral realms, there's light energy, dark energy. There's all sorts of different frequencies and vibrations there. When I got there, what I saw scared me. I don't get scared, guys and girls and theys and thems. And I started to panic because I started quickly realizing that I did not have the evil eye, but that I was in fact witnessing what the COV is. Okay, I'm not going to spell it out. I don't care to give it all the energy. COV, all right? And if I tell you, this thing is not of earth. It is a manifestation of darkness, of hatred, of jealousy, of very dark demonic energy. When I got there, I was in what I could consider like a waiting room. It was very similar to, if you've ever watched Beetlejuice, when they're in that waiting room, that's kind of what it looked like. And there was chairs. Very much looked like a doctor's office waiting room. And this energy, which was like a sludge, tar, black energy, was hovering me. And it would stop in front of me to talk to me. And I would immediately block it. And I was like, you're not touching me. You're not coming near me. I am leaving this room. And it kept saying things like, I'm going to drag you down. There's no leaving you now. You're going to get sucked in. You're going to get stuck in. And every time I tried to move, y'all, like what I'm telling you is something that I experienced in the astral realms when I went to see what I thought was Malojo or evil eye and actually found out it was a COV. What it was doing to me was, if you've ever seen tar or quicksand or sludge and you get stuck in it, it was trying to bring me down. It was trying to suck me in. It was trying to cover my whole body. And I kept peeling it off, right? Like doing this. And every time I would do this, something else would come here. And I kept trying to remove it. And I would lift one leg, but then the other leg would get stuck. And then I would lift the other leg and the other. And I'm telling you, I was fighting really hard in there. COV. That's all I'm going to spell it out as, because I don't like giving it full energy. And the only way that I got out from there was because my brother called me. And my brother is highly, highly psychic. And so my brother and I are very, very connected. And he must have felt me getting stuck. And he called me. And I literally, when I picked up the phone, the first thing I said to him, I'm like, you saved me. And my brother is not fully awake yet. He's just happens to just be fucking psychic and doesn't realize how powerful he is. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I was stuck and you literally saved me. And so then I messaged a couple of my girlfriends who are really witchy. Somebody else asked me here earlier if I consider myself a witch. I consider myself a witch from other previous lives. I have a lot of witchy energy. I have a south node in Scorpio. So witchcraft, magic is very, very familiar to me. It comes very easy to me, but I'm not supposed to, if you know what a south node is, it's what I've already learned. I need to leave that behind, and my north node is Taurus, so I need to move forward. So that's why I teach you all this stuff. My job is to teach. My job is to be the Hierophant, not to be the witch. It is to teach you all. So when I called a couple of my girlfriends who are really, really witchy, who also had this thing, and they also don't have this, they all started telling me the same thing. They all started telling me, Charlene, it was sludge, it was black tar. And I'm like, holy fuck, yes, that's exactly what I saw. And so what did I do? If you all have been watching for a while, you all know that I talk about, different herbs that you can burn. One of those is called dragon's blood. Dragon's blood comes from a tree, and it is used in exorcisms, heavy protection, and to remove evil spirits. If you've ever smelt dragon's blood, you will have one or two reactions to it. Visceral, you will hate it, which means you have bad jujus, or you'll love the smell of it. I burn dragon's blood all the fucking time, you all. I love dragon's blood. As I was talking to one of my girlfriends about, you know, when I got stuck and felt like I was going to get stuck in this astral projection or this lucid dream, I was talking to one of my girlfriends and I started lighting the dragon's blood. When I tell you, I had the most fucking visceral reaction to dragon's blood. Like, I have goosebumps telling you this right now. I started gagging. I was repulsed. It felt like I was smelling sulfur and it was burning inside my nose. I felt like I was on fire from the inside. That's when I knew this thing's a fucking demon. So when you ask me what is COV, it's a fucking demon. It's a demon of the darkest energy. It's why it's taken so many lives. Because it gets you stuck. It sucks you in. And then you feel helpless and hopeless, and so you give up. There was a study that was done, and this is why I share stuff with you all. Don't take my word for it. Go read the shit yourself. Go research. Go educate yourself. Get knowledge. Take what I'm saying and go, okay, I'm going to go research now. I'm going to go find more information. There was a study that was done in Europe or in the Scandinavian countries, one or the other. And mental institution, for those of you that know what a mental institution is, all right? A mental institution is where a lot of people go there that have mental illnesses, schizophrenia, paranoia, so on and so forth. There was an outbreak, and all the nurses were thinged. The patients were not. Having said that, all the patients didn't get sick. All the staff did. And so one of the main doctors started researching, what the fuck? Why are all the patients not sick, but all the staff are? Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you why. When you are in a mental institution, you take a lot of drugs. They give you a lot of pharmaceuticals, a lot of drugs. One of the drugs that they give to patients in a mental institution is a drug that stops you from being septic. Do you know what septic is, you all? If you know what septic is, drop it in the comments. Septic is toxic, you all. Your body becomes toxic. So this drug, this pharmaceutical, no, it's Yin Panda, it's what I'm talking about now. Your body becomes toxic when you become septic. The exact definition of being septic . Sepsis is when your body has an unusually severe response to an infection. During sepsis, your immune system, which defends you from germs, releases a lot of chemicals into your blood. This triggers widespread inflammation that can lead to organ damage. So these people that were patients were taking drugs that were protecting their body from going septic. Because this drug did other things, right? Maybe helped with hallucinations, depression, whatever. The patients at the mental institution took it, but the doctors didn't, because they're not patients there, they're fucking doctors. So then that main doctor that started researching, holy shit, all the patients are not sick because they're taking this one drug that stops them from letting their body get toxic, started giving it to all her fucking nurses, doctors, everyone in the building. They all got healed. Recovered. Within days. Hi, Michelle. The shit is a demon. And it fucking creates toxins in your blood, in your body, in your mind, in your soul, in your spirit. Why do you think it gets you here? Why do you think it gets you here? What's here, guys? What the fuck is here? It's the heart chakra. It's your energy center. Where else does it affect you? Your throat, your truth. Where else does it affect you? Your head, your connection to source. And then what? Then the rest of your body. And so this is why I say, you know, I'm not telling you all get this, don't get this. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want, man. You got to do what's right for you. Listen, every single person, I don't think this is good and I don't think this is bad. I think this is neutral. I think this is what it is. I think that it has its benefits, and I also think that it doesn't, depending on who you are, your medical conditions, how old you are, all the things. All the things. I also think your mental state of mind, your spiritual state of mind, your emotional state of mind, and your physical state of mind has a huge impact on how this thing is going to get you. When I think about how it got me, well, fuck, let me tell you, as soon as I saw what it was when I went into that lucid dream, you bet your ass I was fucking performing exorcisms on myself in the house for 24 hours. Demon, be gone! Somebody recorded me that day, I would have fucking looked like a loony. Because of shit I was doing. I was purging that shit out of my body every single way. But I also practice spirituality in depth. My mental health, my emotional health, and my physical health are also fucking on point. So all this to say, because somebody asked me what I thought this thing was, is to me, this is a test. A test. I don't think it has to do whether you get this or not. I think this has to do a test with how we treat each other. Just like Jack said. I have it 3 times, but I believe people should have free choice. I also smoke a lot of cannabis and it probably helps me. I also take CBD. How many people do you run across that say what Jack said? You look on social media. Oh, you didn't get this? I hope you die. Oh, you got this? Wait till you die. Everyone's fucking wishing hate and anger and resentment, demonic energy onto each other. Dark energy, 3D consciousness, shadow energy. And what has that done for us as a collective? Feeds the darkness, you all. Instead of feeding the fucking light, it feeds the darkness. So of course that fucking demon bitch that I saw when I was astral traveling is happy. We're all giving her free food. We're feeding her as a collective. We're basically saying, here bitch, take this steak. Instead of realizing that this thing doesn't matter. It's a personal choice. They've demonized it on purpose. So that we don't evolve. Too many of us are awakening now. I actually talked about that in Flory in the Lightworkers message. I said take social media breaks. Absolutely. And actually, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to come on here today too. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, I think you've been seeing now for a while that I haven't really been posting as much. Not to say that I won't post things on there, but I am definitely moving my content over to TikTok way more. So my content is going to be primarily here on YouTube, secondary TikTok. So if you want to follow me over on TikTok, it's the same name as over here. Yeah, well, Angels Healing, they did that study where they found that people that take cannabis naturally get immunity or something within the cannabinoids or something. I was reading it. Have fun promoting, Nikki. No, I don't carry Moldavite, and I don't carry Moldavite for one very specific reason, and that's because it's been overmined due to the popularity on TikTok. So somebody just asked me what's the way for TikTok. I'm going to tell you, I think that YouTube and TikTok are moving into 5D frequency and consciousness to a degree, or they're making space for it. But I don't think IG is. I think IG and Facebook are staying in 3D. Let me find the story of institution. COVID, mental institution, COVID, COVID, institution patients didn't get COVID. I should have saved the link. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull it up for you all. No. It's also fascinating too, how there's all these articles that say something different. And they're all in America, but not in, mental institution patients did not get COVID in Europe. I'm going to see if I can find this article. And maybe I'll share it. Doctor finds psychiatric drug blocks COVID. No, I love how I can't find it. I love how Google just blocks it. I knew I should have saved it. See? Always save everything. It's somewhere on the internet for sure. I know this to be true. What was the best way? Okay, let's read what you're saying here. Hold on. Sorry, I was trying to find. You're the best and your spirit is real. I'm glad I caught you. Oh, thanks, Michelle. It's really nice. Yeah, M. Flory, you're right. I'm so happy you like this, Freckles. So there's a rumor about that, but you all need to understand something, okay? You have to remember that, okay, if you follow astrology, drop an emoji right now. Okay. There is an astrological placement that's coming up. There is an astrological, I think it might be Neptune in Capricorn. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm having a brain fart right now. So in 2022, 23, there is a planet. It's not Pluto in Capricorn. Neptune. I'll find it and I'll see if I can. It's not, I don't think it's Pluto. I don't think that's what the, I don't think that's the sign. No. It's not Pluto. It's a, I want to say it's Neptune. Is it Neptune or no, it's not Uranus, Mercury, Venus. There is a, anyways, I'll have to find it. I can't remember right now. My brain's like, me, bam, 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 bam. There is an astrological placement that's coming up. I want to say 2023, 2024. And in that time, there will be an attack on spirituality. Take what you will, leave what you will with that. Can't remember for the life of me what that transit is right now. I don't think it's, I want to say that it's Neptune. Is it 2023? I'm just pulling up the, yeah, I feel like it's, Saturn, Pisces, Uranus, Neptune, Pisces, Pluto. It might be 2024, y'all, now that I'm looking at this. I know I read it somewhere. No, this is not what I need. Anyways, I'll find it and 24 to 26. But there's going to be this small period. I want to say it's 23. Honestly, I'm going to stick to my guns and say that it's 23. I'll confirm with you and tell you. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to remember now and it's bothering me. I'm like, come on. 2024, 2026 is very interesting, you all. Very interesting. You know, the idea that we're going to get back to normal, might as well toss that. Might as well toss that. Just forget about it. But anyways, there's this placement that's going to be happening, or this transit that's going to be happening where spirituality is going to be questioned, where there's going to be a bit of an attack on spirituality. And I think that's where Meta and IG are going right now. Even if you think about it, right? Like, why won't Meta and IG connect with YouTube? Do you notice that? Or TikTok? You ever wonder? TikTok will allow you to tag your IG and your YouTube, but IG won't let you tag your YouTube. There's no connection. There's no integrated platform for and if I was to post a video on Facebook saying, hey, come follow my YouTube video, they shadow ban it. Not because it's spirituality, but because they don't want people to leave. They don't want people to leave that realm. So they punish. They punish any business, Meta and IG punish any business who links externally. So you got to ask yourself why. My favorite question in the whole world is why. I've been asking that question for a very long time. Why? Why? Not my anus, I don't get it. Yeah, Gordon, what are you doing? Don't write that shit, man. Don't be dumb. Anyways, guys, gals, theys, thems. The plan moving forward is more spiritual, conscious content. I'll still be doing tarot. I wanted to just jump on here today and give you all a massive gratitude for, 100K and, supporting me for all this time. Again, my main content now is going to be here on Facebook and TikTok. All right, I know some of you follow me over on IG. I'm probably just going to regurgitate what I create for TikTok and YouTube and put it on IG, to be honest with you. Definitely not going to be devoting a lot of time onto that platform. If you want to take any of my courses, take a look at these links right here. If you've been wanting to learn how to read tarot, if you've been wanting to become a tarot reader, all right, I have a live and intensive 2-day course that's actually on sale right now. It's 2 days. It's 7 hours each day. We work together, like we meet each other on Zoom in a classroom environment. I teach you how to read tarot. I teach you how to tap into your psychic abilities, your inner wisdom, your intuition, and then on day 2, you apply your skills. And I teach you all about starting your own tarot business online. Very important for you all right now to start becoming financially free of the system. Stop depending on a business, a corporation, somebody else to give you money. Start finding ways to make your own money. Okay, so this is on sale now. Anyone who purchases course in February gets entered into a draw to win the course for free. All right, so that's the Tarot Intensive. And then if you're like serious, if you're ready to transform your life, if you're ready to step into your true soul purpose, if you're ready to take back your power, you're ready to shine bright, you know, all of you that said that you knew you're destined for something more, if you truly feel like you're ready to find out what that more is, how to find your soul purpose, how to align, how to be strategic, how to have a plan, how to connect and take your life by the horns and align with your true soul purpose and connect to your light, connect your power, speak your truth, figure out and find out more, remember, right, who it is that you came onto this earth to be. Align is the course for you. Okay, Align is a 12-week program. It's 12 weeks, all right? So it is for those of you that are just ready to fucking take the world and own the world and be a part of this massive change. There are payments plans for Align, okay? And because you're here today, you can use this discount code for 10% off. And if you feel like you have, if you feel like you want to have a call with me because you want to get a little bit more information, I offer a 20-minute session. I offer a 20-minute session where we can chat on the phone to see if Align is the right course for you. And obviously sign up to my mailing list, okay? Because on my mailing list, there's more details that come out. Where is my mailing list? Mailing list. Boop. And the last thing I will leave you with, if you are into crystal jewelry, here you go, my friends. I also find it really weird that the dislike button was turned off. I kind of liked when you got to show me that you didn't like me. I was like, oh, that's nice. 3 people don't like me right now. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so fucking grateful. If you like this stuff, let me know. Drop it in the comments in either this video or over in the community section. Maybe I'll start doing these a little bit more often, right? Maybe I'll start offering a little bit more freebie content like this. And also remember that there's going to be a new section called, thanks. You think I look fresh as fuck? I showered after the gym and I came on here. I'm wearing my comfy shirt. Thank you so much. For those of you that that are looking to have, don't ask me tarot questions, but if you're really looking at trying to get answers in your life, or you have situations that maybe you want like help with, especially around like transformation, empowerment, inspiration, confidence, etc., I'm going to start an Ask Charlene section. So you can ask me a question and I'll answer it in like YouTube videos. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Love you. Okay. We'll see you later, alligator. Peace out. Bye.